I should be able to hear me there. And then obviously I'm live on the socials. Happy Friday. I hope you guys are having a good week so far. So I want to speak about a few things that have been helping me. We can speak about a few reports. I know obviously I shared the screener yesterday, and then just speaking about a few things that's been happening in my own trading, maybe that you guys can take a little bit of lessons from as well. So let's get right into the markets. The DAX moving down this morning. Let's just go to US 500. You can go to the futures markets as well. It doesn't really matter. You have the futures tickers of those different pricing, same stuff. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, we can see obviously. Yesterday we popped down on PPI news and we bought it back up. I did share with you guys that I was actually long. Yesterday, the NASDAQ off those lows, and I actually managed to get some payouts processed. So let me actually just bring this up with regards to those payouts, and I hope that you guys maybe saw that. So let's just go over here to my Twitter X account. Right, you can actually see yesterday I posted that, on the live that I was long. But I blew some CFD accounts, but I managed to take a payout on some futures accounts, so 7K payout, but end up blowing some other accounts as well. So you're always going to lose some accounts, even when you are taking payouts. So that's something I can speak about. And then just in terms of the screener, which I will go over how to use today. But look at this yesterday. Everything after the open on that opening candle continuation was printing, extremely bullish. The only thing that actually was the first hour was bearish was Apple. So I think that's obviously a very, very big telltale sign that I love to use. So let's go over here and just speak about what I saw. I tried to buy them early on the CFD accounts, ended up getting wiped out there. So lost those accounts that side. But ended up taking the longs on the futures accounts back down at the lows here after the news. And we can see that we took out the opening range high. If I'm not mistaken, a lot of the guys' settings, obviously everyone's settings are different, but I took a win on my Edgeful algo, the opening range algo. I'm targeting 0.5 R of that orb. Close on the break, and we got that 0.5 R extension. So really, really neat, really neat work there. I mean, you don't even have to touch it. That is the pretty neat side about that. But in terms of for you guys, I know a lot of guys are trading prop firms here. You are going to blow accounts. It's not going to be perfect, as long as you are net profitable at the end of the month. Last month, I think I made 11 and a bit K in payouts. I spent 2K. So net profitable, right? And I lost some accounts as well. So you're not going to, be perfect and not blow accounts. And that's why I like trading them in different batches. I'm at the moment looking at a copier that can maybe do a bit of that, take less of the load off in terms of making it more easier. But let's just look at the NASDAQ here. We actually we are back at that opening range high level from yesterday. We are trading, and I did speak about this as well, but we were coming off of the opening week VWAP. So start of week VWAP, we were putting this off the news. And that's why I did really, really like the longs after that. And then, of course, you could have got the longs over here later on after the open had actually happened. And as I said, the screener, everything was printing bullish. So let's just actually go over here to the screen, and this is where you can find it. What's up, Hoa? Yeah, if you got any questions, make sure to put in the Edgeful Discord there. If you got any questions in the live chat as well, put it there too. But we can see that if we go here to the screener section of here, okay, and we can choose, I like to select all on the left-hand side there. Reason being is it shows me all the tickers, the Mag 7 stocks, the options, as well as the futures markets as well. And then you can put your favorite reports there. For me, obviously, I like the opening candle continuation, orb report, previous day's range, and the RB report. And this is purely from my discretional trading. Obviously, when I am back testing and set up my algos, I'm just letting them do its thing. I've got some running on the DAX, and I've got some running on NQ. And I think that's the great thing. Obviously, I became a dad at the start of this year. I don't want to be trading all day, every single day. If I'm off the desk and I can't make it on, I think that's when the algos kick in, and it can just let them do its thing. But yeah, from a discretional point of view trading, I like this opening candle continuation. Everything, as I said yesterday, was printing bullish except Apple. So markets actually at the start of here, the overall bias of here actually comes across here. Is most of them printing bullish, bearish? What is it actually looking like? And I think that can help you guys in terms of actually looking at the screen from your discretional trading perspective. Today, just looking at the overnight session VWAP, we are currently sitting on it on the NASDAQ. Let's just go to the Dow. Looks like the Dow actually trading a little bit higher. Yep, we're trading actually, we actually are trading above previous day's highs on the Dow as well. So, I mean, we are being in bullish market territory. I mean, everything has just been moving higher. And I think it's quite tough to fade momentum. But these Fridays, I have seen that we have had those days where we get like a flush out on Friday, so be wary of that too. Just read and react to what's in front of us. Again, if you got your algos, just let them do their thing. I'll just let them do this thing. I still trade my discretional trading in the background. But yeah, just as I said, just based on that, as I said, I know a lot of guys are trading prop firms here. If you are trading your own cash, which I am as well, that's great too. But you are going to, you're going to mess up. You're going to blow some accounts, especially with some of these accounts have the trailing drawdown. That's why I like to trade them in separate batches. So yes, yesterday I blew some accounts on the CFD side of things. On the future side of things, I've locked in payout. And I think that's the cool thing about these prop firms is it actually, for retail traders, it actually helps diversify the risk. But yeah, okay. So in terms of today, as I said, I'm going to wait until the opening range sets, and then I'm going to see what are we doing in terms of, are we taking out the highs? Any levels that I got watching? We are actually still, even on the S&P 500, we are trading ES charts. We are trading above previous day's highs as well. So we are already trading as an outside day. And I think yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, as I said, look how we actually come in to take out the previous day's lows, kind of like a sweep. And then that's where I was buying it on the NASDAQ, though, back towards those highs. So yeah, in terms of news, let's see if there's any news coming out today. Let's bring that up. Forex Factory that I like to use for news. We got core retail sales actually in the next 10 minutes. And then we also got some news at 10 a.m. Eastern time. This is 4 p.m. South African time. So yeah, just take it easy. If you're up on the week, don't look to press. End the week strong. Have your loss limits in place. And yeah, I'm always showing the good and the bad of trading. Like, it's not going to be perfect. You're not going to win every single day. But you just got to take it one good trade at a time. Yeah. So I hope that any questions that you got in the back end here so far. Ho, I hope you're having a great week. What's up, Dave? RB, good to have you back. RB, how's your trading been? And then, as always, ASFX TV will be running. The link is in my bio. You can get a 7-day free trial to Edgeful as well. The link is in my bio over here. A lot of guys actually don't know about that, but you can get a 7-day free trial to Edgeful. I'll put the link in the Discord there and in the live chat here. And then I'll be on ASFX TV over here. Link in my bio there. As always. And then we'll see if we can make some money to end off the Friday. Any reports that you guys have been enjoying recently? As I said, the ones that I use is the opening range breakout with the VWAP, right? I like to trade in line with that New York session open VWAP, and I keep it as simple as possible. I don't really fiddle too much pre-market. I must say, like yesterday's trading probably, as I said, was just being stupid on the CFD side of things. I try to catch that falling knife on the NASDAQ. And it is what it is. Hey, I went for it, got smoked. But then I caught it actually, as I said, on the futures accounts pre-market. And I very rarely do trade before the open. I must say, like very, very rarely am I trading before the open. In fact, I think it was, only like 5% of my trades that I make from pre-market trades. And that's just something that from a, day trading perspective, I'd rather trade the DAX if I'm going to trade pre-market. But as I said, I don't want to be on the charts all day, every single day. And that's where the algos come into play. And I just let them run their thing. But yeah, going to be interesting to see what we do. Let's just go to some tickers over here. So all the Mag 7 stock here are actually up pre-market. And then from a wider perspective as well, we got, most of the stocks green across the board here too. So there's going to be, we are in bullish market territory. We know we had all-time highs. Sometimes it can be tough to trade at these all-time highs, but I think for me, what I just like to do, I like to snag and bag. I'm not looking for big runners. I'm looking just to get my chunk, get out, and go about my day. So, yeah, again, 7-day free trial is the link that I've just put in the Discord. The screener, make sure to go watch, check that out. And then, as I said, when you choose your asset on the left-hand side here, make sure to select all. And then the 12 tickers will come up with the Mag 7, futures, and the options markets. And then select your favorite reports. Personally, for me, as I said, I like the opening candle continuation. I like the orb report. So yeah, it's just what works for me. And then you can still customize that, right? The orb time frame 15 minutes, and then for the opening candle continuation, you can also customize this. But I'm looking at the first hour. Okay. Any questions? Hoa, how's your week been, boss? RB, can see you typing. Adrian, Dave, how's your guys' week been? And then I'll be in the Edgeful Discord as always for the rest of the day. And we'll see if we can make it happen. As well as obviously on my stream, right? Cool. Can you explain how you use the opening candle continuation? Yeah, sure. Pretty simple. So it's more for like maybe after the first hour plays, you know, if I'm still trading around after the first hour. But basically, I like to gauge a market sentiment. Okay. So if, let's just say I'm trading NASDAQ, if the first hour on the NASDAQ is bullish, I like to trade in that direction. Of course, if it's aligned with VWAP and everything like that as well, and the opening range. If you can just go to the report here, actually, let's go to NQ. Okay, let's go to NQ. And let's go to the opening candle continuation report. Okay. We can actually see in the last, let's just go to the last 3 months. Okay, last 3 months. And then anyone here actually trading using the algos? How's your guys' algos been running? Obviously, everyone's settings are different, but you've got to find what works for you and what you want to make happen. But we can see over here in the last 3 months, if the first hour is bullish, 78% of the time we will close as a bullish closing day. So tough to fade that momentum. Like yesterday, if you try to fade that, you know, maybe you caught the shorts off the highs here, but it's much easier just to trade in that direction. For me personally, and how I like to trade. Above New York session VWAP, it was a New York session VWAP yesterday. As I said, I got the longs over here, right? But it's just a lot easier just to trade in that momentum, right? Break of the high, you're getting nice 20, 30 points there on the NASDAQ. So that's how I'm using it. I'm just trading in that direction of trend, like that. So yeah, that's how I'm using it. We are coming a little bit down here, pre-market. As well as I say, we've got news now in the next 4 minutes. But that's how I'm using the opening candle continuation, RB. Yeah, and then again, as I said, any of the algos got any things? Yeah, should be quite neat. Guys, some of the guys are crushing it. Like, look, here's some guys trade over here, and he's got back tested. Pretty neat. Only 17 trades, but pretty neat over a year. I mean, you're going to make 78%. Probably like one where he leaves on runners, I'm assuming. But yeah, 100%. Have a good day, guys. We'll see you on stream. And then 7-day free.